Turn our attention back to what is a jobs emergency, the unemployment issue in our country. Over 3 million young people are out of school, they're unemployed, and not in any form of vocational or skills training. That's according to those latest unemployment figures. It is the youth, though, that seem to have thrown in the towel in a labour market that seems to also have no capacity to absorb them, even if they were looking for jobs, Ayesha Ismail. And that's the problem, isn't it? We've got youth who don't want to continue looking for jobs, and those who are looking for jobs can't find the work. Talk about a rock and a hard place.
Well, Gareth, that is the sad reality in South Africa, where you find young people who actually want to work, who are not able to find work. And I'm now going to go straight into the person that I'm going to be interviewing here. It's Pila Prince Msutu. You have a degree in biotechnology. You graduated in 2018. You have still not been able to find a permanent job. What is the problem?
With all the unemployment out there, I've been out of the system for almost 4 years. Did my degree in biotech and did my second degree in project management, and did a lot of internships here and there, even the basic education internship. But still, that was not enough for me to get employed or get more experience in what I want to be, or what I've studied for. So it has become a problem for me to be outside of the system, and it's very much more frustrating.
But there are so many young people who are in the same position as you, and I know that you work with young people. What are they telling you?
So I work with Youth Capital. So we've been doing researches about young people who hasn't been employed after their degrees, and those who have no education and training. So when we do those surveys and work with those people, we see that they're much more frustrated of how are they going to get employment, because they get rejected each and every day by the system. Even the government said that was the last stray when they said on this in their SONA speech, when they said that the government does not create jobs. And then who's supposed to create jobs for young people if it's not the government working with the private sector? So that becomes more frustrating for them.
We were also talking a bit earlier about young people after leaving school and after graduating, taking up learnership after learnership. And they do this because they just want to get that stipend. And very often when they apply for work after they've done these learnerships, they don't get permanent employment and they become frustrated.
Actually, you'll think these people are lazy, but they're not lazy. I'll tell you one thing. You cannot go to school for, let's say, 8 years, then come back, sit at home, and then people tell you that, oh, that person is lazy because they're not doing anything. That is not true, because we don't get the opportunities. Those internships that we get, they're not enough for us to be inside the system of workplace. We need more experience. Take, for example, for myself. I wanted to be a forensic scientist, but now they tell me that I don't have much experience to go into the field. But now if they can employ me so that I can get the experience, and then when I want to move to another level, then I say, okay, at least I got an experience from this department. So now I'm going to this department to get more experience on what I've been doing. So it's very frustrating when they tell you about experience. I'm fresh from school, but now where should I get this whole experience of the work industry? It's very much more frustrating.
Now, we were also talking about depression among young people. And you were telling me that in your experience, you deal with young people who are depressed because they simply can't find work.
Yes, actually, I'd say a lot of people, they become depressed because they don't find work, and then others, they tend to commit suicide, more especially young males, because they have pressure from their families, they have kids, they have everything. So now the whole pressure becomes a burden in their shoulders. So now they're like, okay, the only solution that I have, let me take my life. So we need to find ways and solutions of how to make those people who are depressed and stressed become themselves again. So which means the only solution is give them work so that they can work for their families and feed themselves. Yeah, so yes.
Thank you so much for your time. And Gareth, that was Pila Prince Nsutu talking to us very frankly and openly about his situation after having graduated in 2018 and still not being able to find permanent employment.
And it's very specialized work that he's qualified in as well, Ayesha. And that's just sadly the story of millions and millions of people. And he's incredibly qualified. I'm not sure if maybe it's the way to go, but if someone in the biotech field knows of something or some way that we can get someone with that kind of qualification involved in the job market, please go and find Ayesha Ismail on Twitter. I'm sure she's be very happy to pass that information on. It's a travesty when someone with those kind of degrees can't find work in this country.